Hello, Pisces. Welcome and welcome back. Listen, I took these cards out of the deck. We're going to use them, but it's very interesting that at the bottom we have transmute, okay, on the Rose edition of the Threads of Fate Oracle. And then we have a new start is coming, new moon on the Moonology cards. There's a very important message that Spirit has for you guys. We just got done with the full moon in Sagittarius. And on June 15th, there's a new moon in Gemini, okay? Now, some of you may have been around long enough to know that there are, I believe, 2 readings, which I found, okay, that reference something about Pocahontas. And the second reading, that I found, okay, let me start over, all right? Spirit is notifying you of a divine compass that you have the ability to access and that you have the ability to utilize to assist you with navigating you on your path. Okay? If north is south and south is north and west is east and east is west, how do you know if you've passed the test? So again, if north is south and south is north, and west is east and east is west, how do you know if you've passed the test, right? You don't. That's the answer. You don't know if you passed the test because the goalpost is being constantly moved, or the directions in which you have to follow to understand if you're going in the right direction they're incorrect. The directions are incorrect. The navigation system is broken. Anything that's man-made or anything that has been set up to gauge whether or not you're going in the right direction or whether or not you're quote-unquote passing tests is rigged or broken or incomplete or incompetent to be able to show you that. And it's because it's not of the divine. It's not of God. It's not of Spirit. It's not of the Most High, whoever you pray to, because I'm not your mama. That is what Spirit is trying to tell you in this message, because your Spirit team knows that you are working right now to understand how to navigate. You're working right now to figure out which direction to go, how you need to go, what you need to do. And your Spirit team understands that it's difficult, okay, for all of us. We're all doing this at the same time. So, in order to make it a little bit easier for you, they want you to understand that you have access to a divine compass that has always been within you, guiding you. And I started getting jumbled at the beginning of this reading because there's a lot. So just bear with me, okay, Pisces, because this may help illuminate you to some of the things that you've been dealing with and how to resolve some of the challenges that you may have had recently. What Spirit is trying to say is that you're working right now to transmute a lot of energy. You're working your soul, your spirit, your aura, your body, your mind, your emotions. It's like you're working with all of these tools within you to transmute a lot of energy, kind of like a water filter. Because what you're ingesting or what you're taking in, not necessarily through any fault of your own. My left ear was kind of starting to ring. But what you're being subjected to, what you have to sift through, the energy that is coming at you is like dirty water. Okay. It's like a substance that you have to filter through in order to get the pieces of information or data that Spirit wants you to have in order to properly assess your situation. So you're having to use your ability to transmute, which is kind of like your spiritual water filter, in order to see where you're going properly. And it's very difficult. Okay. It's because of the new start that's coming that is not necessarily making it difficult, but because that's why all of this is happening. Okay. So in the past, I did a Pocahontas reading. It wasn't really a reading. It was just me kind of crying and talking about Pocahontas. And the title is Pisces, Rivers, Emotional Trigger Warning. It's time for an adventure. Beautiful epiphany, home run. Okay. And I was just telling you what Spirit had guided me to channel in regards to Pocahontas and the songs that are in that movie, okay? One of the main songs that is in that movie is Just Around the River Bend. So that was a song that was very influential. The movie Pocahontas was very influential to me when I was a child, and it definitely had an imprint on my life, okay? It came out in 1995, just if in case you want to know. And there were songs on there like The Virginia Company, Steady as the Beating Drum, Just Around the River Bend, Listen to Your Heart, Mine, 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 Colors of the Wind, Savages, okay? Now, the two songs that are being highlighted in this channel message in particular are Listen with Your Heart and Savages, okay? Because those are the songs that kind of highlight the compass scenes when, I was about to say Jon Snow, wrong show. But when John Smith gives Pocahontas the compass, she keeps it because she's intrigued by it. She's mesmerized by the way the arrow spins. And then she has a dream about an arrow and she doesn't understand how to decipher the dream. And you know how Grandmother Willow always comes through with the knowledge. So the second reading that I've done in the past, in the thumbnail, it says Talking Trees. Okay. The thumbnail for the first one about rivers is Winding Rivers, but the title is what I read off to you. The second one is Talking Trees. It's time for you to see the power in your magic. Your ancestors have something important to tell you. Let the haunting, not hunting, haunting begin. And that's all in the thumbnail, but the title, which is how you're going to find it, is They're Being Haunted and Hunted by Your Ancestors. Look forward to a cornucopia of wealth. So as you sift through the information that's coming in and process it and transmute it, alchemize it, there's going to be a lot of emotions that come up. There's going to be a winding river that you're kind of like following as this process takes place. But it says in the title, it's time for an adventure. It's a beautiful epiphany that you're going to have along this journey. And that's kind of like what's going on maybe right now, or what's been happening to you guys recently, or maybe what you guys may be experiencing in the near future. But you're going to hit it out the park because it's a home run. And as this is happening, your ancestors are communicating with you, and anyone who's trying to kind of like chase you down or follow you on this path, they're being haunted and hunted by your ancestors. So at the end of this journey, there's a cornucopia of wealth that your spirit team has allotted to you. It's like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, right? Like no one can access this. No one can see it but you. Now, the reason why this is significant right now and why I put the thumbnail of this particular reading as Divine Compass is that in those songs, Listen with Your Heart and Savages, there's a sequence of events that I feel like Spirit wants you to be aware of. And I'm going to read it off to you now, okay? First, it's you questioning your path, questioning the route that you should take, or just what path to walk down at all, right? Like the ancestors before you. So your ancestors before you questioned they asked the same questions, because if you listen to the Pocahontas song, Listen with Your Heart, she's basically saying you will understand. And when Pocahontas starts, or when the song starts in the movie, Pocahontas is questioning Grandmother Willow about different things. And it's the same things that her mother, which is no longer there, asked Grandmother Willow in the past, okay? So as you're questioning your path and questioning the route that you should take, just like your ancestors before you, you're going to find that Spirit is telling you that the answer is to listen. Spirit is all around you. They're guiding you. Earth, water, and sky. So specifically earth energy, water energy, and air. Okay? And which one is missing? Fire is missing. So in order to understand the action, the fire energy that you need to implement, you have to listen to the earth, the water, and the sky, or the air. And listen with your heart, not with your ears, but with your heart. They guide you. Okay, so the spirits of earth, the spirits of water, the spirits of air, they guide you to let you know what fire you need to implement. If you listen to your heart, they will guide you and you will hear it on the wind. So you're going to feel this confusion. What are the spirits saying? What are the messages that they're telling you? But spirit is saying to pause and take it in, ingest it. It's not going to be an immediate response. It's not going to be something you immediately understand. But when you pause, you take it in, you hear it, and then you flow. Okay, you flow and you follow the guidance that spirit is giving you. Faster and faster, you're going to be moving because you're going to feel motivated. You're going to feel that action-oriented energy. You're going to feel inspired like the sacral chakra or the solar plexus in your everyday life. And you're going to want to pursue whatever that is. Okay, it's like you're chasing something, but I don't really want to use that terminology because I don't think you're really chasing it. I just feel like you're following it. Okay. Now, once you see this, okay, and you're starting to follow it, the journey has begun, okay? It will take you, let's see. It will take you to a place where you feel like you understand, but then there's going to be something that makes you doubt your path. Now, I don't know which time frame y'all are on because each of you are individual. So you may be experiencing different aspects of this, but it will take you to a place where you feel like you understand, but then there's going to be something that makes you doubt your path. You're going to be feeling lost, and that's basically inevitable. You cannot change that. It's a part of the journey. Then when you feel defeated, the compass shows up again, confirming what you need to do and where you need to go. The sun comes up and then there's the illumination. You realize it's not too late because now you understand, because of the confirmation of the compass showing up again, that you still have time to do whatever this is that you're being called to do. You know what you must do. It's an understanding that you kind of have this unwavering feeling of knowing what you need to do. You realize you were right all along because the compass showing up again notifies you like, hey, you're still going in the right direction. Now you feel free. You're liberated. You feel, able and free to follow this calling boldly. Okay, then spirit gives you the strength and the speed and you start to take off. The tower is falling, so in the midst of this, the lightning is going, the clouds are there, the tower is falling, there's urgency, and it feels like you're not going to make it in time to reach this tower. Now this is the point where the Savages song comes in, but you can you get what I'm saying. So it's like, dang, all that time that you were feeling confused, you were actually on the right path and still going in the right direction. You just didn't have a way to gauge it. You didn't have a way to understand it. And then when the lightning comes and the clouds start to come and the tower feels like it's falling, you feel like you're too late. You feel like there's not enough time. But spirit gives you the strength and the speed that you need to carry you to exactly where you need to go and give you almost superhuman, literally superhuman abilities to be able to make it there and do what you need to do and finish strong. But you can make it despite all of the doubts in your mind and all of the urgency that you feel. It's like something in your heart tells you can make it, and that's spirit reinforcing you. And it's because you must, right? You must make it. You must figure it out. Then boom, you succeed and you get where you need to go. And just be prepared, because then the rush of emotion is going to wash over you. Okay, so if you want to see that play out, go and listen with your heart on YouTube or something like that. Find the video of Pocahontas, listen with your heart, and then watch that first and then watch the Savages one. Okay, so we're going to see what this message is for you. Also, if you want more information, again, you can check out the first reading that I did referencing Pocahontas with the thumbnail Winding Rivers. And I'll try to include the links in the description box of this video so you could just easily click on it. But the first one is Winding Rivers, and it says Pisces, Rivers, emotional trigger warning. It's time for an adventure, beautiful epiphany, home run. And then the second one that you want to watch after that, because when I released it, this is the second one I released, Talking Trees. And then the title is They're Being Haunted and Hunted by Your Ancestors. Look forward to a cornucopia of wealth. And I think that's very interesting because in the Savages video, the song, the settlers are singing savages, savages, barely even human, savages, savages, da, 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 and da, 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 da. And then you hear Pocahontas and she's like, how loud are the drums of war? And they're all fighting, and then you see the clouds of the Native Americans and the settlers come together in the sky, and it's kind of like their ancestors are with them as they're doing that, because you can see the shadows and silhouettes of people in the clouds, and then boom, oh, see, I'm about to knock shit over. I told you this energy is heavy. Then it's like they come together and collide, and there's this like thunder and lightning strike that happens. So okay, we're going to get into it. If you do not like long readings, this may not be the one for you, because I feel this may be a little bit lengthy. And that's fine, because there's plenty of short content here on this channel. You guys be sure to like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. Thank you so much for all of you guys' support. I appreciate those of you who are here and you consistently support the channel, because it definitely makes a difference. I appreciate those of you who have contributed and donated as well recently. I really do. It definitely helps a lot. I know I talk about the same thing sometimes, and it's sometimes possibly tiring for you guys, but I do have to advocate for myself. So I appreciate those of you who donated and contributed. If you find anything beneficial in this reading and you do want to donate or contribute, I'm trying to, make my rent money by the 5th. Okay. It's just a lot going on. I don't want to bring no negativity into the reading, but if you are moved or you feel like you gain some benefit from this reading, I would greatly appreciate a donation through PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle, because that kind of like helps me handle things immediately. If you can't donate, don't feel bad. If you have some hypes, you can hype up the video. That's a great way to exchange the energy. Be sure to like the video, leave a comment, let me know if it resonates, you guys, and be sure overall to use your intuition and don't bring anything into your life that doesn't belong. Okay, so let's see, Spirit, for Pisces when it comes to this message of divine compass. Okay, and remember, if north is south and south is north, and west is east and east is west, how do you know if you've passed the test? That's the question. The answer is the divine compass, okay? So let's see. What is the message for Pisces, Spirit, when it comes to this channeled message and what they need to know, what you want them to know? Oh, okay. Let's see. Maybe it was the alchemy card. Or not the alchemy card, but the transmute card. Let's see. Comfortable. Ooh. What is the message that you want Pisces to know at this time? Patience. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Compassion. But look at the root word. Compass. Oh, my hand is shaking. Destruction. Jeez. The pillar. Ooh. Ooh. And the warrior. Ooh. What is going on? Okay. All right. So let's look at the pillar first. I don't use this deck very often, so bear with me. It's on page 104, and it's an ether card. There's different categories. Excuse me. There's earth, there's air, there's fire, there's water, and then there's ether. So it's on page 104. This is an ether card. And take notes if you need to. That's the best way to decipher these messages sometimes. So the pillar signifies a need to rise to the occasion. It indicates a time where we may need to be all things: the backbone, the nurturer, the provider, the lover. The pillar asks you to step into these roles as best you can, knowing that you are being pushed outside of your comfort zone. You will learn just how capable you are. So a pillar of the community, a pillar of your family, a pillar of your neighborhood, okay, in some way. It is a time where we take our gifts to new heights and learn that our perceived flaws are just that, perceived. If you've been resisting a new opportunity or role that has presented itself, it is time to step into it and trust that you will learn as you go. This is also a time where our container grows. We learn just how much space we can hold for ourselves and for others. Continue to listen to yourself. Fill your own cup so that you can be there for others, but do not forget to push yourself. Balanced pillar energy is being able to wear many hats, to hold space for family and community, but doing these things with empowered boundaries. It is placing your personal well-being and needs first, knowing that your service will be better because of it. Unbalanced pillar can go a couple of ways. In an attempt to maintain all control, one can get domineering and manipulative. On the other hand, they may find themselves becoming codependent, where their identity gets wrapped up in the need to caretake others while forgetting about themselves. If you find yourself in the shadow of pillar, ask yourself, where can I soften? Where can I put up boundaries? What are my personal needs? And how can I go about meeting those for myself? So a lot is being placed on your shoulders. You may feel very responsible for people, or like the only one who's responsible for people. I've expressed this a lot. That's why I ask for donations. It's not to be an asshole or act like y'all don't have struggles too. But I just try my best to provide a service that you guys can benefit from. And unfortunately, there's a person in my life who is trying to starve me out. And I don't want to be homeless. Like, I don't want my kids to be on the street. I know that's not necessarily going to happen because I know God has me regardless. But like, when you talk about feeling like everything is on your back and having to wear many hats and take on so many responsibilities, if you're feeling like this, that is the core of why you may be confused about what direction to go in. That's the core of why Spirit wants you to understand the power that you have and the accessibility that you have to this divine compass that has always been a part of you. Because they know that it's stressful. They know that it's pissing you off. They know that it's exhausting. And they also want you to know that you have a right to look after yourself because the responsibility is so great. Because all of the things that you have on your plate are so great. You don't have to do it while suffering. You can ask for help. And I'm going to be honest with you. I know a lot of you are, Black women who watch me, and I'm going to always advocate for my fellow Black woman. And unfortunately for us, a lot of times we feel like we can't ask for help. We feel like we're not allowed. We feel like even if we did, no one would be there, because that's kind of how I feel sometimes. We feel ashamed for having to ask for help. And, even if you're not a Black woman, you may be able to empathize and sympathize with that sentiment, because Pisces is the sign of self-sacrifice, giving of yourself, and sometimes over-giving of yourself in order to please and appease others. And it's not always because you want to be validated in that way, but sometimes it can be if it gets out of balance. But a lot of times it's just because we have extremely large hearts and we want everyone to be happy and satisfied, not realizing that a lot of the time we end up losing chunks of ourselves in the process. Interesting. Now let's go to destruction. Okay. Because that kind of came out first. That's a fire card. And it's on page 60 for any of you numerologists out there. Now, destruction says that this card indicates that a choice must be made. It asks you, what needs to die today? Maybe it is a limiting belief, an old inherited pattern, or a toxic relationship. Whatever it is time to let it go. Sometimes once we identify what needs to go, it slips easily from us. Other times, it is a slow cycle of releasing and then loosening the grip of our attachment. Be kind to yourself in this process. We establish attachments to things that do not serve us, but knowing something doesn't serve us doesn't mean it is easy to let it go, especially if it has become a part of our identity. This process requires patience and self-compassion. So very interestingly, when we looked at the pillar card, it talked about perceived flaws. And some of those perceived flaws could be a part of our identity that we've adopted that isn't truly a part of our identity, but it's a perceived part of our identity because of whatever we've connected with or attached to that does not serve us, but that's difficult to let go. Okay? So you have gifts and they're ready to go to new heights. And the flaws that you think are flaws are not actually flaws. Like they could literally be a part of you, and it's like a personality trait or an identity trait that you actually have, but that you see it as a flaw because other people have made you see it as a flaw. Or there are things that you feel like are flaws within you that aren't actually flaws. It's just something that, people have made up, and it's not actually something that you do. Like if people say, oh, Pisces, you're manipulative. You may not actually be manipulative. You just may be highly intelligent, and you understand how to break things down logically while also tapping into the psychic connection. And because other people can't understand it, they may think you're manipulative, but you're actually processing information at a higher level. If somebody says, oh, you talk too much, or you cuss too much, I'm going to stop. I'm being corny. Those are things that, yes, some people may perceive them as flaws and try to get you to perceive it as a flaw, but it might actually be an asset. So, there we go. Now the owl, owl eyes. It says people can be wary of owls as they have long been a symbol of death or a bad omen. But there are so many things about this creature that make it a powerful guide. Owls can turn their heads 135 degrees in each direction, giving them 270 degrees of total vision. This is a testament to their ability in teaching us how to find the truth. Another thing that stands out about the owl is how they eat their prey. They will swallow it whole, digest what they can, and then vomit up what cannot be digested. The owl teaches us to distinguish between what supports us and what does not, and then guides us in removing that which we do not need. The elder. Elder has long been associated with darkness and mystery. Elder wand, anyone? It rules the last moon of the year when all returns to the earth. The name elder comes from the Anglo-Saxon word aeld, A-E-L-D, meaning fire. This is an acknowledgement of the destruction that fire brings, but also the life that fire brings. Phoenix energy. The elder tree holds us in the darkest part of the year and guides us as we move within ourselves. In that way, it supports us during the destructive aspect of the fire. And trees are being referenced. Elderberry can also regenerate easily, even from a fallen branch. In addition to that, every single part of the plant holds potent medicine. In these ways, elder guides us through the renewal that all destruction brings. So it's kind of like the destruction of a situation might be inevitable, but you have the tools that will help bring you through it. Now, I don't know how to say this word. Ceresite? I don't know what that is. Ceresite or I don't think it's a C. I don't think it's a K. It's a S. Ceresite. Cerussite is one of the densest transparent gemstones on the earth. This destiny combined. Oh, sorry, this density, Lord, combined with its clarity is a symbol of the stone's ability to teach us how to hold both death and light. Cerussite is also known for its twin specimens, meaning the stones come in almost a heart-shaped formation. Interesting. Okay. So a heart-shaped formation. This aspect also points to the symmetry of all things in existence. It is the unity of opposites. Cerussite supports us when we feel small in comparison to the darkness. It reminds us that we are both. So you're also great and vast like the darkness, but you're small in the grand scheme of things, but it doesn't mean you're small. Right? That's kind of like the universe. It's like we're very important. Each of us individually are very important in the universe, but we're also a small part of a much larger picture. So again, that fire. Okay, so you remember that part during the Savages song where the compass appears again, the sun comes up, which is a fire energy, kind of masculine, kind of very driven, action-oriented energy. The fire comes to help motivate you to get through that process of death and transformation, or of releasing or surrendering things that don't serve you, even if they've become a part of you. Now, compassion is a water card. It's on page 76. Okay. So we have ether, fire, water. Okay. Let's go to 76. Y'all be sure to hit the like button, you guys. Thank you so much. Got to get these messages out, baby. It's a lot going on. Okay, so compassion says, now more than ever, we need to expand our ability to be compassionate towards self, okay, and others. There has been a trend in shaming and rejecting people who disagree with us, and justifying doing so by using sweeping generalizations. Compassion calls us to remember that every human is a product of their environment and is incredibly nuanced. If we want to be truly compassionate, we dive deeper. We do not build a wall. No matter how correct we believe we are, we must do our best to understand others and their experiences. Their lived experiences have created their truth. And if we want to create a world of connection, we cannot afford to outcast those who do not agree. We have to work hard within ourselves to bridge the gaps. Keep in mind, in some situations, compassion can take the form of a wall or a fist. But most of us humans are not perfect, and we live in the gray area. Good, but wounded. And in that, we need more intentional compassion and connection rather than punishment. How can we be more compassionate how can you be more compassionate in your current life? Where have you built walls that do not serve you? So they're giving you the answers step by step, right? You're being asked to go further, to push harder, to do more, to take on more roles, to wear more hats, to be this pillar in your community, in your family, in your friend group, online, to do things that other people are too scared to do, or that other people don't have the capacity to do at no fault of their own, just based on their experiences, and to take that responsibility with pride, and not an unrealistic form of pride, but a form of pride that allows you to understand the great responsibility that Spirit is giving to you and respect it. That's what they're asking of you. And they understand that it's going to be difficult, but it's an adventure. There's parts of this that are exhilarating, and there's parts of this that are completely terrorizing and devastating. But it's all a part of what you have to do to reach the point that we all need to reach. And it doesn't matter how much you do it in your life. It's just important for you to do it. And as you walk through this portal, because it looks like a portal, and you step on this path, okay, there's going to be destruction. There's going to be chaos. You hear the kids yelling in the background. But that fire and that drive is part of your inner compass, helping you to release the things that you don't need, which is more than likely the false judgments that people have placed upon you that distract you from being able to get to the fucking point. Okay, I'm talking to myself, I understand. Or the judgments that you put on other people that close you off to possibilities and opportunities of teamwork that may assist you further on your journey. Okay, now the deer. Okay, the deer is a teacher of compassion and gentleness towards those who have harmed us. They are a reminder that all humans are wounded and that they can unconsciously project their pain onto others. When our anger and resentment becomes stuck and is holding us back, call upon deer to work on cultivating compassion for those who are limited and in pain. This does not mean work on compassion and forgiveness before you have thoroughly processed the hurt, as that is imperative. Also, this does not mean that you must have compassion for every person who has hurt you. There are always exceptions. It is always a choice you must continue to make. And I was going to say that because I was going to wait till I got done with that passage, because we talked about having boundaries that are unwavering, but also movable. Not saying that you're going to go back on your boundaries or renege, but you're going to be flexible to understand when it's appropriate to apply them and at what level you apply them. Because they're not telling you to forgive for anyone else. They're telling you to forgive for yourself. They're telling you to be compassionate for yourself first, to heal what's within you and transmute what's going on with you and what's been going on with you, so that you can understand how that may look in other people and not allow it to trigger you in a way that would bring you to a place of destruction or regression. Okay? Now, bleeding heart. As medicine, bleeding heart is a powerful pain reliever and can also assist those who are experiencing the after effects of trauma. Those who have harvested bleeding heart will tell you how much care is required around the plant. It packs a punch, but it is incredibly sensitive to disturbances. If it is stepped on or harmed, chances are it will not recuperate. Bleeding heart is a call to mindfulness and preventative care. It is a teacher of being kind and compassionate to everyone around you, because we do not know what they are going through or what they can withstand. It is not up to us to decide what they should be able to take. And I just made a TikTok about this, where a lot of times Pisces are very private, and I didn't realize how private I was, but I am a very private person. And the things that I tell you guys may make you think that I'm telling you all my business, but you have no idea. A lot of you have no idea the things that I've had to go through and experience, just like I don't know the things that you've had to go through and experience. And that doesn't make either one of us any better or worse than the other. It just means that we are. We're what? We just are. And a lot of times people misconstrue Pisces personality or mannerisms for something other than what it is, because they've not been privy to everything that's in Pisces' mind. Pisces are very deep. It's the ocean. So if we were to fully expose or articulate the things that we think, we would all be in the fucking crazy house. Because no one is going to understand but us, to ourselves. We don't even understand each other sometimes. But I've learned over time through this practice and through speaking to all of you wonderful people that that's okay. But as long as we respect each other, then we can make progress. And I'm still working on that. So I'm not upset if you guys are still working on that. I just ask that you give me the same respect and grace that you would want to be given yourself. And I think that's what Spirit wants us to understand about, like, how we need to maneuver with people, even if they aren't Pisces, right? Because if we're the wisest sign in the zodiac, we're the last sign of the zodiac, and we've been through everything from Aries to Aquarius, we have to master that. in order to accomplish our goals, because there's going to be people who are misunderstood that are kind of attracted to us. There are going to be people who are lost that are attracted to us. And while we have to understand how to protect ourselves and maintain boundaries that we've set for our own best interest so that we can further our cause, we also have to understand how those different stages of development and evolution may show up in others. Okay. Now, pink calcite. Okay. And it says pink calcite is helpful to those who may struggle in connecting to their own feelings, thus making it a challenge to understand others. For people who have been taught to repress their feelings, any expression of emotion from other people can feel overwhelming and triggering. When we struggle with judgment around other people's feelings, it is helpful to do some inquiry around it. For example, if you reject sadness in other people, ask yourself, how was I treated when I was sad as a child? Ooh, heavy hitting, bitch. Where do I feel sadness in my body? Do I feel sadness when I should, or do I substitute it with other feelings, i.e. anger? Explore your relationship to any emotions that may prevent you from accessing compassion, and use pink calcite as an ally of using your own emotions as a bridge in doing so. That was deep. They not playing with y'all. They not playing with us. Okay, now the last one is the Warrior, also an ether card. So no air, interestingly enough. Maybe that's because this is the communication that Spirit is bringing. Maybe I'm the air because I'm the one anyway, whatever. I got a lot of Aquarius in my chart. The Warrior, 116. Okay. I told y'all, you got to be in it. You got to be in it to win it. Now, the Warrior. Interesting with the horns, the deer and the ram. Anyway, pulling the Warrior card indicates a need for strong fire, energy, and internal power. The Warrior is a call to action, as opposed to just a state of mind. It asks you to examine not just oppressive people in your life, but also the larger system within the world, and then get to work. The Warrior is not about complacency. In identifying where you need to stand up more, you may make those around you feel uncomfortable and defensive, but you must continue forward. Okay, what did I say, bitch? You gotta crack a few eggs to make a goddamn omelet. Now, the Warrior can have a cutting message. It is saying, I see what you're doing, but what else can you do? Warrior sacrifices parts of themselves for humanity at large. The balanced Warrior fights to create positive change, but may go about it in questionable ways. They are strong and resilient and do not have fear when they go up against oppressors. When the Warrior is in balance, they can be very inflammatory and hyper aggressive, baby, because listen. They can push those away that may be of use to them and easily bypass things that are good for them. Ooh, are they reading us? Because y'all be pushing me away, but I be pushing y'all away too. Anyway. Okay. They don't understand the concept of pick your battles and react with equal intensity no matter how big or small the issue is. Now, what I will say is I don't think that I'm completely imbalanced, but there are aspects of that where I am imbalanced, because there are times where I go off, but you don't see me necessarily going off all the time. Especially, I mean, you got to check out the members section if you really want to get up in there. Okay. But listen, we all getting read down. So don't be over there. Now you can do a few chuckles now. You could do a few chuckles now, but you can't just be over there acting like it's just me, because it's you too, bitch, okay? Spirit reading all our ass for filth, okay? I told you. Now, I do feel it's very interesting that card was talking about the fire energy and the fact that you have to kind of sometimes, take it there. and do questionable things to get what needs to be done. Because a lot of motherfuckers, that's one thing that pissed me off about this whole spirituality platform that has been created within these different social media platforms, is that a lot of these people are out here, oh, you just gotta love. And some of y'all tell me, in good faith, not to let things get to you, and watch what you say and watch how you do things, and that's very true, but also more than one thing can be true at the same time, because some of that love and light motherfucking bullshit out here where people just act like you can love the pain away, or you can love the predators away, that's delusional. That's a delusional fucking thought. Love is part of it, yes, but love is not the only thing that extinguishes tyranny. Sometimes it's also whooping some fucking ass. Okay? And you may not like my delivery. And like I always tell y'all, I'm healing. I'm not healed. Duh. So there may be parts of me sometimes that come out that are, less than satisfactory and a little abrasive. But just understand that I'm working this energy just like y'all are working it. And I'm putting in the work to improve each and every day, just like I hope you guys are as well, and hopefully I'm able to help with that. So listen, you gotta take it how it come, baby. Okay, you gotta take that. Listen, let me shut up. I'm gonna keep going. We're gonna do Moonology now. Thank you for those of you who are still tapped in, because that means it's your message. And if it is resonating, you guys, be sure to hit the like button, leave me a comment, let me know any of your thoughts or anything that you feel like fellow Pisces may benefit from. Okay, let's go ahead and see. Also, feel free to put this video at 2x speed. You can always speed it up if you'd like. What else, Spirit, for Pisces when it comes to this message? Boom. Oh my fucking gosh. Bitch, I know you motherfucking lying. Bitch, I know the motherfucking full moon and Sagittarius card didn't just come out and grace us with its presence. The fuck? She must be psychic. Anyway, I'm gonna stop playing with y'all in y'all's ear like that. Breathe. Okay, I'm stopped. Let's make the sloshy sounds. Okay, there we go. ASMR over. I had to do it. My energy. Ooh, pop, boom, pow. Sip the coffee. Okay. Now, bitch, if we did not just have a full moon in Sagittarius, look, it's so synchronistic, make you want to slap your mama. Anyway, don't slap your mama. Look at the bigger picture. That's what you should do. Have mercy, God. Okay. So it's about getting a higher vantage point, a higher perspective, kind of like the owl, okay? Some of the members know that I saw an owl when I was walking one day in my neighborhood on the trail, and that sucker was just looking at me. I got its attention, and it was just looking at me. When you see an owl and you look at an owl and you make eye contact with an owl, that motherfucker stares through your soul. You could see the universe in that owl's eyes, and we were just looking at each other, and I feel like that shit fucked me up a little bit. Because I was looking at it, and I could see the universe in its eyes, and I felt like it could see inside of me. I don't know if y'all ever looked at an owl. And I'm not talking about on a video. It's not the same on a video, bitch. I'm talking about in real life. That shit will hit your ass like a Mack truck. Anyway, nothing is yet set in stone. Mutable moon. You're a mutable sign. And what do you need to release? So Spirit is really being big on this release. Also in the members section, I did a reading for June. And it's available to the circumference tier, which is the entry level tier. The diameter has access to all the readings, but the circumference has access to limited exclusive content. So if you do want to join, you can join the entry level tier and you can still see the June message. These moons look very similar when it comes to the crescent. But in that reading, it was a lot about liberation and kind of letting things go as well, like surrendering And it just feels like you see with this full moon in Sagittarius what you need to surrender. I'm going to be working as well after this reading on the full moon in Sagittarius reading for members, but that one will only be available to the diameter, okay? So, Spirit is basically saying that nothing is yet set in stone. So if you think you got something in the bag, don't rest on your laurels, because that shit could change, because it's not locked in completely, okay? You have to continue pushing. You have to continue executing your plan. You have to continue moving with the same level of energy and intensity, while also, restoring your energy when necessary in order to lock something in 100%. Some of you may be at the precipice of a new opportunity, but it hasn't arrived yet, or you haven't started yet, or there's still some type of paperwork that needs to be signed, things that have not been fully completed. You may be in some type of consideration phase where you're trying to figure out what you're going to do next, but you haven't fully made a decision, or somebody hasn't fully made a decision about you. So it's necessary to continue that momentum so that you don't lose the progress that you made and have to start over from square one. I also feel if you think something is going badly, or you think something is not going to work out, hold your horses. Shut the fuck up for a minute. Because that's not necessarily true either. As soon as you think that something is not going to work out, Spirit may move in a way, or the wind may change in a way where things shift and change to actually look better than what you've anticipated or expected, okay? But you have to, release things, because the mutable moon and the waning moon kind of coincide. And it's like the full moon in Sagittarius is kind of highlighting what this full moon is showing you. What is it illuminating to you? What is it making more clear? So not only are the efforts that you need to put in and the plan that you need to continue to execute being made more clear, but also what you need to let go of, what you need to stop doing, what's not working for you is being made clear so that you can eliminate it and get it the fuck up out of here, okay? So I turned immediately to waning moon, so we'll start from that point. Usually I start from the bottom, but let's go. What do you need to release? Waning moon. And it says the waning moon points to what's falling away. Life goes in cycles, and sometimes we need downtime or to let go. No matter when in the moon cycle you pull this card, it's a sign that a situation has peaked for better or worse. And it's time for you to go easier. It's the autumn and winter of the cycle. So not necessarily autumn and winter of the year, but autumn and winter of the cycle. Some of you guys, this is very significant for those of you in Australia, because it's getting cooler out there as it's getting hotter over here. Okay. Some of you guys, if you're, in summertime right now, this could be talking about the coming fall and winter. Okay. So what do you need to release? Almost certainly something from the situation you're asking about. This card can be very positive, but it can still be gently suggesting that you let something go and stop trying so hard. The attunement or the affirmation is it's safe to let go and move on. Additional meanings for this card are move forward with as little resistance as possible. So move forward with as little resistance as possible. So if you're hitting any brick walls, if you're getting no's, or if you're being stopped, don't fight it. Just, okay, I'm not supposed to go in that direction. I'm supposed to go in this direction. And that's kind of like a process of elimination thing. So Spirit can kind of guide you and lead you to what the right choice is. This is not the time to start new projects. Okay. But remember, a new start is coming. At the very beginning, when we were looking at the bottom of the Moonology deck, that was the card that was there. So even though that may be the case, this is not the time to start new projects. They could be talking about the upcoming retrograde, Mercury retrograde, because this is in the future position, okay? Releasing emotional baggage is recommended now. Say sorry to someone. Do energetic work such as meditation or yoga. Soon you will see what lies ahead, right? So it's like getting ready to get ready. The full moon in Sagittarius is telling you to look at the bigger picture of the situation that you're in, the steps that you're taking, where you are in the process, and what you need to do to move forward. This is that transitional time. And then the fire energy is giving you the energy to do those things. Now, I don't know off the top of my head. Oh, shit. Y'all be sure to like the video. I don't know off the top of my head when the Mercury retrograde is. Okay, but it's June 29th to July 23rd in Cancer. So, yeah, this is preparing us for Cancer season. I also told you that the new moon... Because a new start is coming. The new moon in Gemini on June 15th is significant because maybe that's the pre-shadow phase. Is that possible? Maybe. Anyway, let's now look at the Sagittarius full moon. Okay. And it says, look at the bigger picture. Are you thinking too much about the details of your dilemma? Fretting over minutiae can be counterproductive. Or perhaps you're being all talk and no action. This card is a reminder that while it's good to think things through, sometimes you need to step back and look at the bigger picture. And work backwards too, because I usually start with the current kind of like energy coming into the current moment, and then the future position. But now we're working backwards from the future position where you want to be to how can you now work backwards to get where you want to be from where you're starting. Interesting. But again, this card is a reminder that while it's good to think things through, sometimes you need to step back and look at the bigger picture. What do you then see about your current situation? What's the most positive thought you can have about it? Now is the time to count your blessings, even if you don't yet have exactly what you want. This card is also a reminder that we often have to take a few risks and go with uncertainty on this journey called life. Try to keep an open mind about what's for the best. The universe could surprise you. Now, the attunement is take time out for a mini break or adventure. Okay, what did I say about the winding rivers around the river bend when I was crying and boo-hooing? It's like an adventure, okay? Now, additional meanings for this card are this situation may have come around because you've been distracted. Be confident without being overly confident to win the day. Have you shown that you care? If not, now is the time. Find a balance between speaking your mind and saying too much, which is kind of like what the warrior card said. Child, it's hard. It's hard, baby stanky. Because, baby, listen. That mouth filter was not developed in the womb, okay? So far, we have the waning moon. What do you need to release? It's safe to let go and move on. There's going to be some finalization. I'm telling you right now, this Mercury retrograde is going to bring situations up from the past for you to finally release it, let it go, finalize it so you can let it go, okay? Now, look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. Time to take time out for a mini break or adventure. Okay, now we're going to go to the final card, which is mutable moon. And nothing is yet set in stone. Okay, mutable is all about change, shape-shifting even. That something is still developing. This card indicates that something is indeed changing and there's room for maneuver. So take it as a sign that the situation you're asking about is far from finalized. If you're not happy with the current state of play, that's marvelous. It means you can still change the course of the outcome. However, there's also a sense that the situation could perhaps be a little unstable. For some, this is great news because you can still influence it. Others will struggle, okay? Others will struggle with the uncertainty, but should stay with it a little longer. Either way, nothing is set in stone. So the full moon in Sagittarius also told us to get comfortable with uncertainty. The attunement on this card says, I know that the best will unfold for me. Additional meanings for the card are you're meandering towards your goal, and that's okay. So you might be moving a little slow. Taking your time, being cautious, but that is okay. Give yourself grace. Staying adaptable is the key to success for you now. Make sure you're not being led astray. Have you become distracted? Time to focus. Stay with it, whatever it means to you, okay? When was the new moon in Taurus? That was on May 16th. So this is energy that you may have been experiencing since the middle of May, which kind of like lines up. Okay, because that was right before we shifted over to Gemini. And you may have gotten a little distracted when it comes to what you were doing. And also, the look at the bigger picture for full moon in Sagittarius says this situation may have come around because you were distracted. So you were kind of getting distracted. You got distracted because you may have been like thinking about something so much or pushing so hard on something that you weren't focused on the bigger picture. Okay. Or you weren't focused on, like, you were just pushing. And there were just adjustments. And I think that happens a lot, but we don't necessarily pay attention to it or realize it and see it for what it is because there's a lot going on. Just like them girls out there screaming. They love to scream, child. But you know what? I'm not mad because that's how children do. And I know that their mama is probably tired because I know they be in the house screaming. So anyway, we're going to continue to move forward. Let's do a Pisces RS card. Shout out to our beautiful fellow Pisces. Woo! Woo! My Lord, my Lord, my Lord. Ooh, let me try to turn the mic down so it's not as sharp in y'all's ear. I hear it with full force. Man. Okay. Final oracle for Pisces when it comes to this compass, this divine compass. Ooh. Go with the flow. Anything? Okay. That's it. Go with the flow. It's irking me because it's not even. But I might put another card there. Love surrounds you. Ooh, 2 ones. And abundance is yours. So Spirit is saying, hey, we're here. We know that you're trying to get something done, okay? We know that you're in the process of ending things and beginning things because it's a 10 card. So that speaks of the ending and the new beginning all in one, which is confirmed by the go with the flow, which is a 1 card. They're telling you to trust where they're leading you, to trust where you're being guided, to trust the current that's pushing or pulling you down the river, okay? And it could feel very volatile and out of control, but abundance is guaranteed yours. Like I said, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, okay? The cornucopia that I mentioned earlier from the other reading, and it just feels like, you know, Spirit is telling you that this is kind of the way that things are meant to go. I feel like a lot of the channeled message that I was telling you was about like Spirit wanting you to understand that this is not abnormal. This is normal. Like what you're feeling, what you're going through, what you're experiencing, how it's fucking with you is not something weird. It's not abnormal. It's exactly what your ancestors went through before you, your parents, your grandparents, the people who came before you in your bloodline. That's what they had to experience as well. So it's not to say that, you know, it diminishes your experience or how you feel about it, but it's also just kind of like reinforcing to take it easy on yourself because it's something that your spirit team knows is hard. It's a lot. Especially with the time you're living in, like each generation with the pillar card. Well, no, was it it was the warrior card where it said, look at your situation internally and then look at the world. And then you got to take action because of whatever you witness and what's going on. And it's like, yeah, there may have been prior generations that had certain things easier than what we have in this generation. And we may have some colossal gargantuan problems to address. And it's taking a lot of our energy, but we also have more ancestral support, more power to access that ancestral support, you know, more like eye-opening energy, more awareness spiritually to be able to tackle those things, even though it may not seem like it, while still understanding that people are people have gone through similar things before us. It was just in different ways. So I'm going to put this back, but it says the untainted. Don't worry about malicious talk. Your light will not be tarnished when they try to ruin your reputation. Oh, my Lord. So sexy one is at the bottom. And it says you will draw flirtatious and lustful attention by many. Take this time to spice up your sex life and have some fun. Ciao. So a lot of you could be being called harlots, whores, sluts, because you're attracting a lot of energy. Oh my God, my cat has her paw up in there. Like she is lounging. Okay. Oh, she stretched it out. I was going to show you, but she stretched it out. Her feet look like little turkey legs. You know how they do. Anyway, it was so cute. Okay, now for real, Spirit, final oracle for Pisces. Thank you. The drama queen. Things aren't as bad as they seem. Careful not to overreact to situations while emotions are running high. And you know what also came out in the members reading? Other people dramatizing situations. There's a lot of bullshit going on. But as the flow takes you, as the current pulls you in a direction, don't overreact, because that's going to get you to take unnecessary action. That's what Spirit is saying. And don't let somebody else get you to overreact because they're tripping the fuck out. The entertainer says you're entering a period of happiness. Positive and sociable times are afoot. Expect things to go well at this time. That's why they're saying, hey, look, it's a period of happiness coming for you, baby. And there's no need for you to crash the fuck out about shit that's unimportant unless it's absolutely necessary to do so as you gauge each situation. Yeah. There are also people who are going to be dramatic because of that untainted card that we just saw. Like, as you're attracting more of what you deserve into your life, as you are aligning with where you're meant to be on your path, there are going to be people who are overly dramatic about what you're doing, like tripping the fuck out on you or tripping out and crashing out about what you're doing to other people. And Spirit wants you to know that they're not going to fuck anything up. It's just going to be like the natural order of things. So don't overreact about it. Don't take it to heart. Excuse me. The Alchemist. Look at that. And we were talking about transmutation, and now the alchemy card. I kept saying alchemy by mistake. It says change is taking place, transforming bad situations into gold and bursting the limitations that bind you. So this alchemization, this scientific reaction, this alchemical reaction, either within you, around you, or both, is taking place because that new start is coming, okay? It all ties in. And what you're transmuting right now are the things that you don't need out of the picture. The people, the situations, the places, the experiences, the memories, the information that you don't need is being cycled out. And it's a process that may be uncomfortable. It's kind of like dialysis. Yeah, and I was talking earlier about kind of like the filter effect. Like you taking things in and having to filter and sift through it. So dialysis, spiritual dialysis, divine compass. I don't know. I might change the thumbnail to say spiritual dialysis. That sounds interesting. Let's see. Okay, Spirit. Show us what we need to see. Do one of these. Do two of these. Do three of these. All right. 3 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles, and the Strength card. Leo energy. August could be significant. Also, September could be significant. March could have been significant. Libra, Virgo, Leo. Okay. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles. So, yeah, something is dragging, moving super slow. Either you are, or this is like a long-term situation because you have the 9 and the Knight of Pentacles. That's 10 Pentacles. Okay. And the Three of Wands. Yeah. Getting ready. Anticipating. Expecting. Trying to look into the future to see. Yeah. Something may have been moving quickly and then it slowed down. Someone may be trying to slow you down. If they are, it's probably an earth sign. Virgo more than likely, but it could be Taurus or Capricorn. Cancer energy is definitely significant with the Six of Cups here as well. Something slowed down in March, I feel. And it's kind of devastated your finances. But by September, more than likely through in Virgo season, so the beginning of September, I feel like something is going to be replenished or balanced out. Some of you, it could be October. Okay, Libra and Virgo is significant. You may feel disappointed that you have to do something on your own, but Spirit is reminding you of how strong you are and giving you the fire up under your ass to have the courage to do what it is that you need to do. But I feel like you have to quiet the voices in your head or the negativity around you that tells you can't do something. It's like you have to just know without a shadow of a doubt. Because the doubt that creeps in, or the people who place doubt in your mind or in your heart, are what's keeping you stuck, okay? So what's this Knight of Pentacles first? What is the Knight of Pentacles? The Nine of Swords. Ooh. That June reading, the Nine of Swords was in the Knight of Pentacles space. Ten of Wands. Plagued, burdened, weighed down by anxiety and fear and stress. There could be a Sagittarius, strongly an Aries or a Leo, maybe a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Libra, or Gemini, who is worried or anxious or maybe even ashamed of themselves or something like that. They could be the one who's putting those feelings on you. They could be the one who's feeling those feelings and you're picking up on it. They could be the one who is doing something to stress you out. You're just tired of having to deal with somebody who kind of like hunts you down. The haunting and the hunting. You're burdened by the anxiety that you feel behind somebody else's actions. I feel like some of you could also be anxious or nervous that someone is hunting you down, and everything that you do, they're going to make it hard for you. And that's why I feel like you're moving very slowly. Like once you, it's not so much the journey. It's more so once you get wherever it is that you're going, somebody may try to cause a problem. This card is reversed. It's the Hermit. Yeah. So coming out of Hermit mode is stressful. Putting yourself out there is stressful. Sharing information that you've gained is stressful. Allowing people access to who you are. Remember that privacy aspect is stressful. What's the Three of Swords? My God, Jesus. Almost. Okay. So I don't know if this is you or if this is someone else, because Pisces energy really has not come up. It kind of feels like someone was putting you in a place of anxiety or fear or stress to force you into this slow speed because you were moving too fast. So they were either doing reckless things to make this happen, or they were trying to influence you to do reckless things. The Moon, the Two of Cups. I feel like you're standing at the pillars, you're standing at the portal, you're standing at the doorway, and you're hesitating walking through it because you don't want to be disappointed. I think a lot of you, your higher self is wanting you to take action, but you're afraid. And it's something to do with the parts of yourself that you keep hidden from other people. Because showing that part of yourself in the past has created some type of disappointment or loss in your life. Some of you may talk to people about what you're planning on doing. And even though that may be something that you do to reassure yourself, it ultimately turns out to reinforce your inner fears or to reinforce your desire not to do something. It's like you may talk to people about, oh, I'm planning on doing this and I'm planning on doing that. But the response that you get kind of like subconsciously reinforces your fears. Whether the people who you talk to are trying to be negative or they're just not understanding your vision, you know? So it's like by you asking other people before you do something, or by you looking for outside validation before you do something, it kind of reinforces your own insecurities, and you use that as an excuse not to do whatever it is. But that was the plan anyway, you know? It's kind of like you're talking yourself out of doing something, but you know that you shouldn't do that because your higher self is telling you not to do that. But then you go and ask other people and you try to see if they're going to agree with you, and they turn out to agree with you or reinforce that desire that you have to run away from it and go against your higher self, okay? Anyway, one more card for the Knight of Wands. Y'all be sure to like the video. Knight of Wands, Spirit. Anything? Okay. Four of Cups reversed. Yeah. I just feel like this is the World. The Four of Pentacles. Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio. What was that card with the Two of Cups, child? Hold on. I forgot that quick. The Moon. Okay. Yeah, it really boils down to you being afraid. It's like the actions that you're taking are rooted in approval from others, acceptance, being accepted. You want to be accepted. You're holding on for dear life to the idea of acceptance. It's rooted. What is the root cause of your desire to be accepted by people? It's more than likely because of how things have ended for you in your life, or how endings have gone in your life up until this point. That's why it may be hard for you to let go of something that no longer serves you, that is foreign to you, but that is difficult for you to let go of, because the way things have ended for you in life in different situations has scarred you. It's bruised your heart. It's created that trauma that Spirit was referring to in the Oracle cards. And you're holding on to that. How has that played out in your family? Have you had a parent or a sibling or someone close to you during your formidable years who held on to people, places, and things that did not serve them, and you watched them do that and be stubborn about it? That's where you find the root cause of your desire to be accepted. And what it is the bare minimum. What it is very inconsistent, because that Knight of Wands was flipping all the fuck around. It could have been in upright, it could have been in a reverse, which means a lot of you, what's holding you back right now from pursuing something that's in alignment with your higher self is the fact that you're seeking approval from someone who's not trustworthy, who's unreliable, who's undependable, and therefore it's making you inconsistent, unreliable, and undependable in the things that you do, or showing up for yourself when it comes to the things that you want to do. And whatever acceptance that somebody gave you, like breadcrumbs or scraps, you hung on to that and held on to that for dear life, because it was very few and far between. It was like you were starved for attention, or starved for compliments, or starved for acknowledgement. You may have been in the crib and crying, and nobody came. And when you did get that little bit of affection, you hung on to it for dear life, because you were in a survival mode, not understanding that the reason why you were in the crib crying was because of somebody else, not because of you. And my dad told me a story about that. Like, one day he walked up, I don't know if some of his stories, I'm not sure if they're true or not, but he said one day he walked up to the apartment that him and my mom were living in, and she was outside. And he was confused because I was nowhere to be found, and he was concerned about where I was. And he's dramatic, okay? But anyway, he asked my mom, because she was outside basically having a panic attack. He came up, asked where I was, and she said I was in the house, very cryptically. I think he thought that my mom, like, put me in the oven or something. Basically, she was outside having a panic attack because I was crying. And he went upstairs and found me just wailing, screaming. And she couldn't handle it. And it gave her like anxiety. She went outside. She didn't know. He said he didn't know how long she had been outside and how long I'd been crying. But when he went upstairs, he said he picked me up and tried to calm me down, right? That is an example of, metaphorically, maybe something that you've experienced, whether it was like, maybe you had a parent who was positive and then they died, right? And then you didn't have that same attention or affection because maybe you lived in a foster home. Maybe you had a loving partner or spouse and they passed away. And then it was difficult for you to form connections with others because the dynamics of the dating world around you have changed, right? Like, maybe you had a friend that moved away when you were very young, and it created a bruise on your heart and a lack of connection, and starving for that connection, but not necessarily through any fault of your own. I think that's where this scarcity comes from. That's where this mindset and this energy of scarcity comes from for you guys, that spirit is wanting you to really dive into and tackle, okay, with that moon card. A cycle has come to a complete end, and more than likely it happened in March. And I feel like your spirit team wants you to hold on to that feeling, because it could have been a good cycle. Like, it could have been a cycle that was supposed to come to an end, that you wanted to come to an end, and it was painful and it was hard, but there's a healing that needs to take place within you from that situation. And your spirit team does not want you to rush past the pain, to rush past the hurt, to rush past how monumental it was. Because the moon card and the moon card that we saw earlier and the world card signifies how monumental it was when it comes to your emotions, your fears, your anxiety, the path that you're on right now, and how it correlates to reaching the goals that you want to reach. There's an ending that's taking place, that it's real. And they want you to hold on to the fact that it's real, but they don't want you to hold on to things that now you need to let go of, like communicating with people or conversations that you've had with people in the past, old text messages, old voicemails. It's time to go into the unknown, and it may be scary, but that's what you were being asked to do in that time. And I'm not saying you have to do anything that you're uncomfortable with, but that's what it's saying. It's like these tasks, this action that Spirit is asking you to take, these tasks that Spirit is asking you to do are going to be hard. They're going to be painful. Throwing away things that remind you of a person, place, thing, a time, a situation that's ended in your life and it no longer serves you. Getting rid of the old voicemails that you listen to over and over again. When my mom died, she was on the voicemail of our old house, and I used to call it, and the phone would ring and ring and ring, and then it would be the voicemail saying her voice, because I've forgotten how her voice sounds at this point. I've forgotten sometimes how she looks if I don't see a picture. And slowly, like Jack sinking to the bottom of the ocean as Rose was on the door and she didn't want to let go. That's how the memory of my mom has slowly faded away, and it's painful. It's heartbreaking. And when I was a teenager, I used to call the old phone number before it got disconnected and listen to her voice on the answering machine. And then one day, guess what? It got disconnected. And the voicemail and the answering machine and her voice was gone. And I was forced in that tower moment to let it go. And I cried. And that's what some of the things that you're being asked to do may cause you to do. But it's not for no reason. It's for your best interest. I don't know who needed to hear this today, but please hit the like button, you guys. That's why I ask if you can donate. It would be very helpful, because I definitely need help paying my rent, and it's hard for me to ask for help, but I do need help because it's just a ridiculous situation. Anyway, 9 of Pentacles. Moving on. What is this? Okay. The 6 of Wands reverse, which could be a loss. Okay. We also have the Queen of Pentacles and the 9 of Wands. Okay. So, 5 of Swords, bitch. And the Karma card, which is Judgment. Mischievous energy. I'm getting mischievous energy with these fairies. Are they good fairies? Are they bad fairies? Now it's like, okay, now we're bossing the fuck up now. Now we're bossing the fuck up now, bitch. You're refusing. You're setting a boundary. You know your value. You know your worth. And you're refusing to let motherfuckers come in and try to siphon your energy for attention. You're refusing to let people create delays in your life. You listen, that's what that's about. This could be you blocking family members that create loss in your life or depletion. It's any type of depletion. With the 9 of Wands, you're not giving up. You're like, damn it, I'm going to keep fighting. I'm not giving up because I have an endless reservoir, an endless supply of resources that I can tap into, whether they are material or energetic, and I'm going to use them bitches. Okay? The 9 of Pentacles is the baby version of the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is the baby version of the Empress. The Empress is a card of an individual who knows that everything she needs is going to flow to her effortlessly, and there's nothing she has to do except for be open to receiving and follow the guidance that Spirit is giving her. Somebody is intimidated about how you've bounced back after a perceived loss. Anything petty, stupid, any situations or people that constitute playing silly games and winning silly prizes, trickery, no. You may have gotten very defensive with somebody who you found out was envious or jealous of you. You may have told somebody, look, this is the boundary. Don't step past it or else I might whoop your ass. How about that? You will have a loss. I will pull you down up off that horse and beat the shit out of you. And I don't condone violence, but listen, sometimes when this motherfucker's walking up and stabbing people out of nowhere in Atlanta and spitting on bitches out of nowhere, sometimes you might have to tell a motherfucker to back up or I'll pew. You don't see right now, because 9 is significant. So this is definitely like anywhere from Virgo season in September, which is the beginning of September, to Sagittarius season, maybe like the 9th of December or something like that. You don't see how somebody is going to have to deal with this. Which means you don't see how your power, your strength, your resilience to set boundaries and to protect yourself, you don't see how that's affected somebody. And like somebody's taking a loss because they're being eclipsed out of your life, because they're being removed out of your life, because you have because you have passed judgment about them and made a decision to do something on your own and to be independent. It don't matter whether I say it or not. It's happening. You also bounced back after a loss. Somebody is preying on your downfall. They want you to get karma for, I guess, looking good after a loss because you bounced back. I also feel like what this is saying is that there's somebody who's going to make you some type of offer that appears to end some type of conflict, or, oh, I'm going to appreciate you now, 4 of Cups reversed. I'm going to, I have something to give you. I want to end this cycle of, I don't want to lose you. I want to end this cycle of fighting between us. I want to hold on to you. They're going to want you to meet up with them, but you're going to feel intuitively and instinctively cautious about this because it's full of shit. It's this person trying to burden you or force you to feel ashamed of yourself. It's like they got a degradation kink or some shit like that. And it kind of feels like they want to get revenge on you and create some type of loss for you where they're the one who exhibits they're the one who administers the karma on you. One more card for this 9 of Swords with the Knight of Pentacles, the 8 of Pentacles. Because you're working on something and it's got somebody shaking in their boots, baby. The focus, the discipline, the determination that you have, the accuracy of your ass, the accuracy with very little illumination. You have very little. You see, she's working by fucking candlelight at night, at dusk. The amount of fortitude that you have, the amount of resolve that the fact that you can show up and show out and it looks like you're a fucking vampire because you don't need no fucking sleep. But I mean, you do sleep, but it's just like whatever is being portrayed has somebody very anxious and afraid and cautious about approaching you. I think some of you can feel the nervousness or the anxiety of someone approaching you, or you maybe can feel their energy before they approach you, but they are intimidated. 9 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands. I'm telling you, September is significant. Either for a birthday or for a time frame. They're trying to get you to focus on fear somehow. And there's the Empress and the Queen of Cups. You see what I'm saying? You're nurturing a project. You're nurturing something that you're working on. And you're trying to keep your emotions and your heart in check. Because your heart is attached to something. So you may have a physical reaction to that. I'm not a doctor, lawyer, or psychologist. Disclaimer below. Okay, Pisces energy strongly. Also Taurus, Libra, Virgo. I want to say Aquarius, Aries, Cancer, Scorpio. And you're kind of worried that it's not going to pay off, but it is going to pay off. You just have to just start. If you start down the road, you will reach your destination. If you start doing something, you'll be able to do it on your own with your eyes closed. Now, there could be a person who's coming towards you that is very attracted to you, that's going to wait until you, it's like there's kind of sitting around waiting until you reach a goal. That could be what you're kind of afraid of. That could be causing you to hesitate, and Spirit doesn't want you to hesitate. But there could be someone who is observing you, and they see that you're very close to achieving a goal or reaching a goal. And I don't know if they're necessarily a good person. Some of you may have more than one person who exemplifies this energy. But it's like there's definitely a person observing you on your path as you're walking, as you're moving. And one of them is decent and one of them is not. Somebody doesn't want to lose you because they see you almost at some type of milestone, or they see you about to reach a goal and they don't want to lose you, and their feelings are admirable and you can be compassionate, but it also needs to be a situation where you don't let that person stop you and you don't take on too much of their energy because they could hold you back and create some type of disappointment. And then there's another person who is just purely evil, who wants to stop you and doesn't want to see you reach the goal. Okay? And this identification could describe multiple people, more than just two, right? But you need to understand the energy that they're carrying. It's either going to be people who are carrying an energy of support and kind of like cheering you on in the distance, or people who see what you're doing and they feel a longing for you because your energy is getting further and further away that may be detrimental, and somebody who just don't want to see you succeed. Those are like different categories, right? There also could be a person who's waiting for you to succeed or waiting for you to get something before they approach you because they're plotting in some way. And that's not necessarily a good energy, because if you wanted something, you should have came to me before I got to where I am. You shouldn't have waited until I got to where I am, because then that means that you could have ulterior motives, right? Now, the strength. What is the strength for Pisces? What is the strength? Oh, my goodness. The courage and bravery to pursue your destiny, to Step up to the plate when it comes to what it is that you came here to do. What's the strength? Yeah, to overcome your fear. Boom, Queen of Cups. Cancer, feminine energy, or Leo, Cancer, High Priestess at the bottom, and the Four of Pentacles. Woo! Put the fear behind you. Ugh. Excuse me. It's crazy. This is also intuition. Because if you think about it, yeah. The Page of Cups. Your intuition is strong just simply because you're a Pisces. You understand. You understand. You understand. You understand. You overstand. You have support. The wolves are back there supporting you. Whatever's around the corner is going to be a product of your imagination. So make sure not to be thinking about anything scary, and it won't be scary. I mean, it might still be a little scary, but like, you know what I mean. Control your emotions. Control your thoughts. It's also about creativity and inspiration, like feeling the creativity, feeling the childlike excitement about the adventure that's coming with the Page of Cups. How the potential of what something can be. Feel the potential of it. Feel how wonderful it can be. There is a secret here that someone is holding on to, or information that someone is holding on to. But I feel like it could be stressful or make your load heavier if you keep asking about it or looking for it or searching for it. Spirit just wants you to go into the unknown. Especially when it comes to like what's happening in the community, society, what's going to happen in the future. Three of Wands, Three of Swords. We just saw the Three of Cups. I saw the Three of Pentacles as well. You know, what's your intuition telling you to do? Hold on to that inner wisdom, not what other people are saying, because that's just going to confuse you. And there's the Three of Pentacles. Keep your focus on whatever it is that you're building. Yeah. One more card. What's the Three of Wands? Sorry. Yeah, because I just got distracted. Yeah, Spirit is trying to warn you against any outside influences kind of like distracting you. King of Pentacles, King of Swords. It's what people are saying, but it's what they've always said. King of Pentacles, King of Swords. Both of these motherfuckers are know-it-alls in their own way. The King of Swords has been through battle before. He's a seasoned veteran, and he knows how a battle is going to go. He's really good at strategizing. He understands how to win in a situation. And so does the King of Pentacles, but they do it in their own way. But it's kind of like, just because you've done it before or you've been through it before, doesn't mean you know what the fuck is going to happen now. So it's something about expectation with the Three of Wands, of course, but it's also about like the way people choose to look at things based on what they've been through prior is dictating how people feel. So if there's a lot of people tripping the fuck out and crashing out and talking about, oh my God, we're doomed. We're doomed. There's nothing we can do. We're going to get swallowed up in a pit of hell. We're going to get swallowed up in Trump's butthole and come out his diaper. Like, come on. Like, don't pay attention to that stupid ass shit. Because there may be a reality where that's true, but that's not your reality. That's the reality that they're creating, not the reality that you're creating. Focus on the one you're creating. What's the Three of Wands? Three of Wands. Thank you. Five of Cups. Ooh, Seven of Wands reversed. Queen of Wands. Yeah, somebody's confident that there's going to be a loss. So just throw down your swords. Drop everything. Oh my God. But you're confident that something is going to come together after a loss. But you can't fight it. It's kind of like that Seven of Wands is a person who, like, whatever they expect, that somebody expects loss. But you're going a different way with the Queen of Wands energy, very Sagittarian. You may have a Sagittarius placement that's prominent. You're even while everybody else is confident that the loss is coming and they expect it and they anticipate it and basically they feel like the enemy is going to win. You're confident that the loss is going to happen as well, but you look at it from the perspective of knowing that even though the loss is going to happen, Spirit is going to bring it together in the way that it needs to come together. That's how I feel. Oh, it's definitely going to be some turmoil and chaos and bullshit. But I also know, I also understand that with that being said, I know Spirit is not going to, like, just leave us out here stranded. That's some dumbass shit. Don't listen to people who are dumb. Also, there may be people who are naysayers who try to convince you that you're never going to be able to move on from a loss, or you're never going to be able to come back from something. But no, that's the whole point of this reading. Okay? The whole divine compass energy. I can't even remember the other one. It was spiritual something, but I forgot. So that means it's not important. It's like whatever the compasses that people are gauging or using as guidance are inverted. If north is south and south is north, and west is east and east is west, how do you know if you passed the test? You have to use the inner compass, the divine compass, not the outer one. Anything else Pisces needs to know? Insecure in reverse, so your confidence is coming back. Something else. Ooh, envy in reverse. Putting on a show. You're not doing it for anybody else. Ooh, doing drugs. Total drama action. Y'all, I was just about to tell y'all, Love Island has a new season coming out tonight. I'm filming this on June 2nd. Oh my God, it's going to have me in a chokehold, bitch. We've been in here for a long time. So this is kind of like how the members readings are. I promise you they're about to get lighter because I can't do this heavy shit. So if you want readings like this on a more consistent basis, consider joining the members. The best value is with the diameter tier. I'm just going to let you know. So this is about you putting on a show. Look at this. The entertainer putting on a show. You're entering a period of happiness. Positive and sociable times are afoot. Expect things to go well at this time. Ooh, and look at this. Rising star. You're ready to receive the blessings of the universe. Your ambitions and talents are being noticed by those in power. And then finally the gem. Because you remember we had the broken in the last reading that I think was talking about the fair lady wins again, Pisces friends, or something like that. This came out in reverse. So we've moved on from that. Okay. And the gem is being revealed and cleaned off. Don't sell yourself short. Work through your beliefs in your head. Get uncomfortable or get used to uncertainty and do yourself justice. Because you're a rising star. Liz Taylor, darling. Okay? Then you have insecure. So you're no longer insecure. You're not hiding. You're coming out of hiding. And you're putting on a show. And it is an extravagant event. Okay? And I feel like there's something about this envy card where it could be other people, but I feel like it's kind of a reflection of you and the feeling of lack or insecurity that made you envy other people that now no longer affects you because you've come out of that dark place. Okay. You do not envy people who act as if they are confident because you can see through it. It's a drug, okay? Somebody could be doing drugs or facing some type of addiction or be addicted to fame, attention, and they're acting like they're not insecure, but they're putting on this show and like getting validation from the drama or starting drama, right? Like the people who are being drama queens, total drama action. They're making it more dramatic than it needs to be and putting on a show because they're insecure that they don't have anything else to fall back on. And I know my last few readings have been exacerbated or, well, exaggerated, I guess. They're not really, because that's honestly my personality, bitch. That's how I act sometimes when I talk to my friends. So, it may have seemed dramatic, but I think Spirit is trying to show you something, and that's like how I've discovered that Spirit uses me in these readings. You have to pay attention to more than just the words I'm saying. It's a full package. You have to pay attention to the words that I'm saying, the things that happen in the background, the timing of different occurrences during the reading, and the underlying theme in order to really get the most out of the message. There's a lot packed in these messages. So that's what Spirit does to get you to see what you need to see. So if you do want to donate or contribute, you guys, I'll be stuttering because it's hard for me to ask for help. But I really do need you guys' help right now. If you could, contribute even $1 would be beneficial because we know big things can happen over $1. Anyway, let me shut the fuck up. That man was acquitted of all his charges over $1 water bottle. He killed a child. And this might be wrong, but I hope that man does not sleep well for the rest of his life. I hope he hears the screams of that child's mama in his ear and his mind for the rest. I hope he is haunted for the rest of his life by taking that man's life and his raggedy bitch ass son. I said what I said. And if I'm wrong, then so be it. But I said it, and it's real because it's facts. So anyway, bitch, if you want to donate, it would be helpful. So PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle, you guys, if you donate through this mechanism that you are watching this video on, it's wonderful and I appreciate it. But it is not necessarily the best way to do so because of the stipulations that are in place when it comes to percentages and things that I'm not going to get into. But please understand, Venmo, PayPal, or Zelle is the best way, okay? And I appreciate all of you guys, even if you can't. Just like the video, leave a comment, interact with the content so that it can be pushed through the algorithm, okay? Thank you. Now, someone is also secretly envious of a person because they are very insecure and they can't do what that person does. So they are addicted to kind of like watching the drama unfold in that person's life, or they're addicted to, what's it? It's like they advocate for this person's destruction. What is that called? Enablers. So there's an enabler out here, not to you, but I think to someone else who is faking the funk. They have a bunch of enablers around them. I would rather have people around me who tell me about myself and make me uncomfortable than to have some yes motherfucking men or yes women who enable me to do dumbass shit. Insecure, putting on a show, and envy. What are these cards? Oh my God. Ooh. Somebody's delusional. Somebody may even be making things up about you. They could be making things up about you and say, oh, Pisces is delusional. They're stupid. They're naive. They're doing, like, you get what I'm saying? However they're describing you, may not be true, but it could apply to either them or someone else. 7 of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. Oh, this is proof that they've been crazy. I've been knowing this for a long time. This also could be somebody doing some type of spell work as well. Yeah, but Love Island is coming on, new season tonight. I'm about to have me in a chokehold, bitch. Unless it's corny. Now, Tower and the shadow side, which is the devil, Scorpio energy, Capricorn energy, the Fool. So this is something very major. This is a major part of the sequence of events. Someone's power is being removed. A structure is unstable. It's collapsing. And you have to choose whether or not you're going to jump or get pushed. Metaphorically, of course. And then the Fool card. And then the shadow side. So a lot of you may think that what you're doing is kind of crazy, but you're very confident about it. I think it's a situation where people don't see your vision. So you have to trust the vision, because there's going to be people who doubt you because they're shocked at what it is that you're saying, or shocked at what it is that you're doing. Yeah. But it's not for them to understand, because it's the vision that God gave to you, not them. Okay, sit down, bitch. What's the gem? The rising star and the entertainer. Yeah, Queen of Wands. That's what it is. So doing it regardless. And that's what's making you a magician or an alchemist, technically. The Ace of Wands. Motivated to make a decision because you already see. You listen. Right now, I'm just going to tell y'all, Pisces, do not block or ignore the vision that God is giving you. Because even though it feels like you're not on the right path, I'm telling you, you are on the right path. And it doesn't feel like that, but you are. And what you've been asking for and praying for is waiting just around the river bend of that adventure that you're scared to go on, because it's uncertain and it's unstable. This could be business ownership. And it's like some of you guys want to own a business, but you're afraid because there's uncertainty. I'm telling you, I'm sitting on here online asking people to donate to help me pay my rent so I won't be homeless. Baby, trust me, it's very uncertain. And even if you put in all the effort that you possibly can, sometimes that shit still don't shake. But you have to have unwavering faith and devotion to what it is that you're doing, and then do it for the right reasons. And I'm telling you, it always works out. I don't know if you guys are going to donate anything. There's a couple people who have donated, and it's made a big difference. But there's still, like, progress to be made. There's, I'm thinking, well, shit, am I going to have to get out here with my bad brakes and my bad tires and do some more DoorDash when my car is on this last leg? I don't know. I don't have a problem doing that. But also, I don't want to try to force it and God forbid I be stranded somewhere like I was a few years ago at the mercy of my ex-husband, having to call him and get him to help me, and him giggling and chuckling about it. You know what I mean? So it's like sometimes you have the best intentions and you try to make the right decisions, but you just cannot control everything. And that's what I think Spirit wants you to get over that fear of, because that's how it's going to be if you want to break out of the chains that you've been locked up in and cooped up in, and do more towards what your spirit team is trying to prepare you to do. And it's really crazy when some of y'all judge me for asking for donations, but then you sitting on here watching me because you want to start your little business. I said little because y'all are disrespectful, not the ones who are respectful. Some of y'all be on here judging me like, oh, she asking for donations all the time. Like that crazy bitch who was a fucking agent infiltrating the member section, coming at me crazy because I asked for support and advocate for myself, and trying to make it like it was a joke. Laughing emoji, LMAO emoji, like it's a fucking joke. No, bitch, you're serious. you raggedy hoe. You've been sitting here mooching off my energy and benefiting from my energy. Even though you're paying for it, I give a lot. These readings are long, especially in the member section. And we're really getting into shit. And you're sitting here understanding the back end. Because I tell people sometimes what's going on. Not all, but there's more detail in the member section. A lot of members know what the fuck is really going on. And this hoe was back there faking. And then had a nerve on a public video where everybody can see it to say, oh, well, sometimes you be doing too much when you ask for donations. Bitch, how about sometimes you do too much in my face? How about you say it to my face then? I would love to see you show up. Because you're watching me to figure out your fucking issues in your life. And I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about this bitch specifically. You're watching me to figure out your fucking issues. You're looking towards me to guide you in the dilemmas that you have in your fucking life. And you got the audacity and the nerve to judge me for advocating for myself? Bitch, go suck a dirty dick. Go suck a dirty dick. Expeditiously. Profusely. I want you to gobble it. I want you to choke on that hoe. Because you ought to be ashamed to come at me crazy like that. When I sit here and on the specific video, she said it. I literally said in the video, it's okay if you can't donate. Just contribute by liking the video and subscribe. That's not too much to ask. And I would be fucking good and goddamned if a fucking fellow Pisces bitch comes to me and says to me that I'm doing too much when, ho, you're complaining about the same thing happening to you from raggedy people who you haven't gotten rid of in your motherfucking life. But anyway, I blocked her from the channel. So if you're here, girl, hey, stupid bitch. Because I know y'all still come back and watch with different profiles. Anyway, I'm going to give you guys advice. We're just playing a little bit at the end. You know I got to talk my shit. It is what it is. Now, what is the advice for Pisces overall, spirit? Okay. Now, don't be afraid to say I love you or thank you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Hey, hey. So don't break my heart. Who sang that song? Thank you to those who deserve to hear it. Don't be scared of embarrassing yourself or appearing soppy. You will never regret a heartfelt I love you or a message of appreciation. You will only ever regret not saying it, okay? So follow your heart. That's a very strong message that we've been getting in a theme of a lot of these readings. The journey wasn't the smoothest or the most pleasant lately, but everything is coming together. Your patience, strength, and perseverance will soon be rewarded. The wait is almost over. Hold on. Okay. Also, this stressful situation is almost coming to an end. We are sending positive energy, financial help, miracles, and life-changing blessings your way. Period. Amen. Let the church say amen. Okay. Just because something is not happening right now doesn't mean that it will never happen. Divine timing is at play. Divine compass. Be patient and trust the process. That's what I said in the beginning. And finally, Pisces, if you're worried you don't have the strength to move on, strength card. Think of how much strength you're using to hold on. Then redirect that energy, alchemist, and enjoy your life, period. Enjoy your life, Pisces. Live your best motherfucking life. Don't let none of these raggedy bitch assholes out here who are upset and depressed and insecure make you feel bad about showing the fuck out when it's necessary, or make you feel bad about cutting them off and setting fucking boundaries. Okay? And I think I talked enough. So you guys be sure to like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this really helped you guys. Be sure to check out in the description box those other readings from the past that may give you extra insight into your situation. Of course, if you can donate, please use PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle. If you cannot, just leave me a comment, support the content, hype the video, and use the information. Don't just abuse the information. That would be great as well. Okay. Pisces, remember, this is our circle, booze. Bye.